Welcome to the GeForce Now Thursday Chat. That's what it says above the door. You are most welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We have a packed show tonight. I love it when we have we're doing a show when it's been a big news week, and boy oh boy, it's been a big news week, and we're going to be talking all about that Microsoft Nvidia deal to bring the Xbox Game Studios PC games to GeForce Now. Mind-blowing. Of course, we're going to be talking about all the new games coming to GeForce Now this week, plus all the other news. So I think it's time. Roll the titles. Yokoso. Arigato gozaimasu. Welcome. As I said, to the GeForce Now Thursday Chat podcast. I hope you're good. I hope you are well. Of course, as ever, it is, as I always say, the GeForce Now Thursday Chat. And we have a lot to chat about. And I want your thoughts on all the big news stories of this week related to GeForce Now. Of course, the biggest being the big Xbox PC games coming to GeForce Now. We'll be talking, as I said, talking a lot about that. I want to know your thoughts. I want to know your comments and all of that. Put it down in the chat. And of course, let me know what games you've been playing this week on whatever platform. I'm always interested to know what games you've been playing, and say hello in the chat, because as I said, it's the Xbox. No, it's not. It's the GeForce Now Thursday Chat. Wrong show. It's the GeForce Now Thursday Chat. You are the chat. This is the show. So I'd love to hear what you've got to say and all of that. And of course, housekeeping. Don't forget to hit the likes, because I like it. YouTube likes it, and it helps people like you find awesome content just like this. And if you are new here, then do me the great honor. Arigato gozaimasu. Hit that subscribe button. Toggle that notification bell, and that way you'll know when I go live with shows just like this, ladies and gentlemen, just like this. And it's a biggie. It is a biggie this week, no doubt about it. But before all that, as I said, games I've been playing. Atomic Heart, which is of course available now on GeForce Now to play, but I've been playing Atomic Heart. I have to say, I'm pretty impressed with it. It looks brilliant. It feels, parts of it feel like a next gen, well, current gen, you know what I mean? If you're playing it on consoles, it feels like a current gen game. It really looks great. I happen to be playing it on the Xbox Series X at the moment. But as I understand it, it looks even better if you're playing it on GeForce Now Ultimate, everything turned up to 11. Looks chef's kiss. So there you go. So that's what I've been playing, along with, of course, my constant obsession at the moment with Halo multiplayer, quick play, and Call of Duty Warzone DMZ with my son, having a lot of fun doing that. But as I say, let me know what games you've been playing. Put it in the chat. It's always appreciated. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, let us jump. Just check there. Let us jump into the news. And straight off, of course, we've got the 4080, the RTX 4080 SuperPods continue their rollout across Europe, ladies and gentlemen. The RTX SuperPods continue their rollout across Europe, with Paris, ladies and gentlemen, joining. Let's just see if we can make that big. Here we go. Just by my head here, Paris, see it turn on. There we are, glowing now, has joined Europe. So originally, obviously, it was Frankfurt, which is just there by my head. Frankfurt, then London, then Amsterdam, and now Paris. Look at that. Mate, you're sort of, in Northern Europe, you're sort of sorted. Neil just subscribed, very much appreciated. Shout out to you, sir. Yeah, so that's Europe, North Europe, sort of sorted really there. No more rollout in America at the moment. But as I said, this rollout is sort of over the weeks. So more cities will come online, as it were, more servers. The SuperPods will be upgraded to the RTX 4080. But this week, ladies and gentlemen, it's Paris's turn. So bonsoir and bienvenue. Welcome, Paris, to the wonderful RTX 4080 SuperPods. And they are wonderful, ladies and gentlemen. They are wonderful. So, of course, that is the RTX SuperPod rollout update, if you ever needed that. And now, I think, ladies and gentlemen, of course, games. There are games this week. And as ever, I am ably assisted by Clive in the studio as he's going to round up the games coming to GeForce Now, or back, what's the date? 23rd. They're all on there now. In fact, we'll be talking about one of these games, which looks like it crashed Steam. But more on that later as we go to Clive in the new studio. Clive, you ready? Yeah? Okay, it's over to Clive in the new studio. Thanks, Clive. This week on GeForce Now, we revisit an alternative history where robots attack. A bowl of blood is served up, and it's a chef life. We meet the sons of the forest and some Ember Knights and become a cartel tycoon. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's the games coming to GeForce Now this week. The highly anticipated game of the week is Atomic Heart, which is available now on Steam and looks stunning on the Ultimate tier if you haven't tried it there yet. Developed by Mundfish, Atomic Heart is a first-person action-adventure shooter that combines thrilling shooting mechanics, challenging puzzles, and a politically charged narrative reminiscent of popular first-person shooter games like BioShock and Call of Duty Black Ops. The game takes place in an alternate history where the Soviet Union emerged victorious in World War II and created a utopian society. Set in 1955, the USSR is attempting to launch a revolutionary device that allows humans to control robots with their minds. However, when the plan is sabotaged, all the robots turn against their creators, leading to a series of mysterious and thrilling events. Despite relying heavily on plot twists and spectacle, the game manages to keep players engaged through its captivating cutscenes, high-intensity gameplay, and offers players an immersive experience and is both intriguing and enjoyable. So far, the game has exceeded all expectations for me, and it's definitely worth checking out. Blood Bowl 3 now, which is a new release on Steam and Epic Games Store. Blood Bowl 3 is a video game of fantasy football. A turn-based strategy game inspired by American football in the Warhammer fantasy world, where elves, humans, orcs, and other creatures fight for the ball with shoulder charges, kicks, punches, and weapons of varying degrees of lethality and legality by the ref. Your team, your call. As the coach, you must give instructions to your players. Hinder the progress of your opponents by positioning them in your tackle zone, knock down those who get in your way, and break through to your opponent's end zone to score a touchdown. All your units can gain experience and receive statistic bonuses or new skills. However, injuries are common, especially when the referee is a goblin who tends to overlook most forms of violence. Some players may even leave the field limp and lifeless, putting an early and definitive end to their careers. Chef Life, a restaurant simulator, new release on Steam, does exactly what it says on the can. No pun intended. Create and manage your dream restaurant. Menus, purchasing, decor, staff, equipment, customers. And don't forget the actual cooking. Experience the daily life of a restaurateur and earn your awards from the Michelin Guide. Take the reins of your dream restaurant. Choose and customize dozens of kitchen components, cooking surfaces, food processors, ovens to build your dream kitchen. Before firing up your burners, organize your team, manage your suppliers to obtain premium ingredients that would impress the most demanding of gourmets, track your finances, and predict how busy you'll be so you're not overwhelmed by the dinner rush. And is there an anti-Karen mode? Sons of the Forest up next on Steam. Sent to find a missing billionaire on a remote island, you find yourself in a cannibal-infested hellscape. Craft, build, and struggle to survive alone or with friends in this terrifying new open-world horror simulator. Experience complete freedom to tackle the world how you want. You decide what you do, where to go, how best to survive. There are no NPCs barking orders at you or giving you missions you don't want to do. You give the orders, you choose what happens next. Ember Knight's now on Steam, and it's an action roguelite for 1 to 4 players, where you play as legendary knights, the last spark of hope against the mad sorcerer Praxis and his hordes of unwavering fiends. Wield weapons and skills, build synergies with game-changing relics, and free the universe of Praxis corruption. The game has an overwhelmingly positive rating on Steam, so may be well worth checking out. Cartel Tycoon, now out on Epic Games Store, is a survival business sim inspired by the 80s and 90s narco trade. Expand and conquer, fight off rival thugs and evade the authorities. Earn people's loyalty and strive to overcome the doomed fate of a power-hungry drug lord. Set in the fictionalized 80s Latin America, Cartel Tycoon tells the story of a time when cocaine took over first the US and then the whole world. Ridiculously rich drug kingpins rule over glorious empires, creating thousands of jobs, but a maelstrom of violence threatens this criminal underworld from within. Say hello to my little friend. And there you go. That's this week's game, available to stream via GeForce Now right now. Which of these games are you most looking forward to? Let us know in the chat. And as ever, it's back to the wonderful Clive back in the studio. Clive, it's back to you. Hey. Thanks, Clive. Well, there you go. Let us know which... Right, well, we're back, but whether the am I back? Yes, we are. Oh, annoying. Thank you all the people who stayed and remained patient. I do apologize. Look at me just looking. I'm looking back at my play there, like redundant there. Oh, there's me holding my head. Anyway, annoying. I've had a brand new hub installed because I had a lot of Wi-Fi issues last week. I had some issues with my computer. Anyway, this was meant to solve all the problems. And I don't know whether it's because it's a new hub and it's sort of settling in or what. But it's crashed twice today. That's annoying. But you don't want to hear about my trials and tribulations. We're here to talk about GeForce Now. Right, it seems the old chat I can't. But Transy, oh, there we are, was hoping that he can end 100% in A Plague's Tale Requiem. Wow, I was just grateful to get through A Plague's Tale, if I'm brutally honest. But good for you. I love Plague's Tale is one of my favorite games of all time, I'd say. So that's good. Not just last year, but yes, indeed, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. So I just want to. Meanwhile, yeah. Previously on the pre-broken down internet show version of the show, Sons of the Forest. So it seems that Sons of the Forest has effectively crashed Steam. It was trending. It's not trending now, but Sons of the Forest was trending. And somebody here goes, where is Sons of the Forest? This was about 3 hours ago. And GeForce Now was saying it's in the onboarding phase. But I did see, in particular, it was Grace Young, formerly of Stadia, of course, employee of Stadia, who was saying she's desperately been waiting to play Sons of the Forest and has had to kind of keep refreshing Steam. So I had no idea that Sons of the Forest was such a popular game. Here, it does look good. Highly anticipated sequel to The Forest from End Night Games. I did not realize how highly anticipated it is as a game, that it actually sort of crashed Steam. I know a number of people, as I said on Twitter, have been reporting, not that yet, look away, we'll come to that, have been reporting issues with it. So there we go. Right. So I just wanted to cover that. So anyway, let us crack on, ladies and gentlemen, with the big news of the week. Of course, let's just call it up. We're going to go to it anyway. We're going to break it down. But I thought I just had it here. The GeForce Now blog. Where is it? There it is. The big news, of course, ladies and gentlemen. Nvidia and Microsoft here to bring top PC games to GeForce Now. Now, it's important to understand what we're talking about here and just be very clear. Are we talking about stuff on the Xbox PC store catalog? Or are we talking about Xbox PC, as it says here? They're working to bring top PC Xbox game studio games to GeForce Now. So these are the games. And of course, everything on the Activision Blizzard deal. And just to give you an idea of publishers in the Xbox Game Studios stable, we've got your 343 Industries, Halo. We've got World's Edge. We've got Coalition Gears stuff. We've got Compulsion Games. They do The Few of Us. Double Fine. Xbox Game Studios Publishing, obviously. The Initiative, InXL, Mojang. So, Minecraft, Ninja Theory, Sensual Theory, whatever it's called. Obsidian. Playground Games, so that's your Forza Horizons, Rare, Sea of Thieves, big fan. Turn 10, they do some Forza stuff as well. And Undead Labs. Then you've got Bethesda Games, AlphaDoc, ZeniMax, Tango Gameworks, of course, brought Hi-Fi Rush, id Software, Arcane, Machine Games, Roundhouse. The list, ladies and gentlemen, the list goes on. So let's break that deal down. To those that have not seen the video, explain a bit more what it's all about so that you have all the information that you need. So again, I'm going to call on Clive to break down the deal and explain what it's all about. So again, Clive, it's over to you. Wow. Xbox PC games are coming to GeForce Now. Yeah, you heard that correctly. Titles like Halo, Forza Horizon, Minecraft, possibly Call of Duty and Overwatch could be on their way to GeForce Now over the next few months. Following the announcement that Nvidia and Microsoft have signed a 10-year deal allowing GeForce Now to stream Xbox PC games on the GeForce Now service. So let's break the deal down and tell you why this is a massive deal for GFN. Okay, the background quickly. Ever since Xbox announced it was acquiring Activision Blizzard in a $70 billion deal, Microsoft has been trying to convince the competition and market authorities around the world that the deal is not anti-competitive and that they have no intention of holding back major titles like Call of Duty from other platforms. When I say other platforms, i.e. Sony PlayStation. Despite the protestation of Sony. So, this week Microsoft announced deals with Nintendo to bring Call of Duty to the platform for 10 years, and now this deal with Nvidia to bring Xbox PC games to GeForce Now cloud gaming. So, they've got Nintendo on their side, they've got Nvidia on their side, and as an aside, they've also got Tencent on their side. Two of the strongest arguments against the deal going through, raised by competition and market authorities around the world, i.e. Europe and UK and the US. One, Xbox could make Call of Duty, one of the biggest gaming brands in the world, exclusive to Xbox. Two, what's the impact on cloud gaming if Xbox keep all the Activision Blizzard titles just for their Xbox cloud gaming service? So, in Europe this week, to present their case to the EU, Microsoft revealed the two major deals. Call of Duty coming to Nintendo and Xbox PC games to come to GeForce Now cloud gaming service. And they even have a 10-year deal for Sony for Call of Duty ready to go if Sony want it. They don't. So, by all accounts, this is great news for consumers, especially of GeForce Now. This deal is massive. But what does it entail exactly? And is Xbox Game Pass included? Well, let's answer those questions. First of all, the detail. This is not just about the obvious Xbox PC games like Halo, Forza Motorsport, Minecraft, etc. It goes beyond that, covering Bethesda games like Fallout, The Elder Scrolls, and other publishers and developers already in the Xbox family, such as ZeniMax, id Software, Rare, Ninja Theory, Compulsion Games, The Coalition. The list goes on. Not only that, but according to Nvidia GeForce Now VP Phil Eisler, if the Activision Blizzard deal goes through, it will include the big one, Call of Duty, and basically the whole of the Battle.net catalogue. So that's Overwatch 2, Warcraft, Diablo. Phil Eisler also confirmed that the agreement is to release new titles day and date, or as close to day and date as we can with the PC release of the games. Okay, but what of Xbox Game Pass? Can you play those PC games on Xbox Game Pass via GeForce Now? Well, unfortunately, Phil Eisler did not confirm this when asked, saying we have no announcement about Game Pass right now. Whilst in itself it would be awesome if that does happen, let's think about it a bit more. By not allowing Xbox Game Pass subscribers to play via GeForce Now, at least that would retain some value for Microsoft in their Xbox cloud gaming service. I mean, otherwise, what's the point? Own the PC games, and yes, as I've often said, what difference does it make if you play it locally or in the cloud? But Xbox Cloud Gaming is their own specific service connected to the Xbox Game Pass. So I guess the jury's out on this one. Just watch this space. I'm not saying it won't happen. I can see reasons why it won't, but the door is not entirely shut on that. But for now, it's a no. Okay, the next question, I can hear you shouting already, my dear, sweet, impatient Veruca Salt gamers, is going to be, when can we start playing? When will the game start coming? Why isn't all the catalogue there now? I looked and the catalogue wasn't there. I want it now. Well, hold your horses, little buddy. This is not going to happen overnight. It'll be a trickle. Hell, by the time I post this video, we may have the first game or games. Nvidia plan to start releasing a few games a week, making those GeForce Now Thursdays even more exciting. I mean, they need to kind of upload all the games across all their servers, do some tweaks, so it's a bit of a capacity thing. The first few games we'll start to see will be those Xbox PC games already available on the Steam and Epic Store. But over the next 6 to 12 months, we should see the whole of the Microsoft Store catalogue up and running. So on that basis, as I said, expect to see a trickle over the next few weeks. I mean, to put all this in context, this actual deal all happened very quickly. Like literally They concluded it last week, probably driven by the UK Competition and Markets Authority's list of concerns about the risks to the cloud gaming industry and other cloud gaming competitors, and asking for Xbox to demonstrate how they're going to kind of calm those concerns. The VP of Nvidia GeForce said the deal only came together last week. So let's give them some time to get things sorted and just be excited at the prospect of some major games being announced each week on GeForce Now Thursday for the next few months. Plus, one other factor in all of this to think about is, will this prompt other big publishers who have yet to tick that box for GeForce Now to tick that box and come on to the service? Well, there you go. GeForce Now is the beneficiary of Microsoft's need to satisfy the government authorities about the Activision Blizzard deal. And we, as consumers, are also the beneficiaries. It won't happen overnight. Expect a trickle of PC games from the Microsoft Xbox catalogue. And no, for now, it doesn't cover Xbox Game Pass PC. So there you go. You have everything you need to know about the deal. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. What titles do you expect to see first? Are you excited about the deal? Has it helped Xbox in getting this deal with Activision Blizzard approved? So it's back to Clive in the studio. Clive, it's back to you. Thanks, Clive. Really informative and very useful. I hope you found it informative. I hope you found it useful. As I said, if you're new here, do me the great honour, will you? Hit the subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. Clive in the studio would appreciate it. And of course, hit the likes. So there you go. That is the deal, all broken down. Everything you need to know about the Nvidia and Microsoft deal. Everything that we know, a lot of that is from the horse's mouth in terms of the VP of Nvidia GeForce. I'm not saying that Phil honestly is a horse, but you know what I mean. But some interesting questions have come up there. So, and there's a few, sort of thought questions here, aren't there? Like a few theoretical questions, and very, very valid they are. So, Lugo here says, I wonder if Xbox will just save money and get rid of xCloud altogether. So, as of now, Xbox Games Pass, let's make a very clear distinction. What they're talking about are Xbox PC games. So those PC games that come out of the Xbox studios or family of studios. And as I say, we made that massive list, which I've just gone and got rid of. Let's have a, just to refresh ourselves of what we're talking about here. Basically, games from Xbox Game Studios Publishing and all of these potentially that are on PC, many of which are, not many, some of them are already on Steam and stuff like that. Plus, so Bethesda Softworks there, plus when the deal goes through, Activision Blizzard. So we're talking a lot of games, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of potential games. So that's the kind of the key thing. We are not talking about the PC Game Pass yet. So the question is, are we likely to see that? Now, the point that Lugo raises here is a good one, because if there is an argument to say that if you can play Xbox Game Pass games, albeit PC, if you subscribe to Xbox Game Pass PC and you can play that on GFN, then what is the, it to me undermines xCloud, which I think is still an important addition to the fact that is a value added to the fact that you subscribe to Xbox Game Pass. So that's why I think strategically Xbox may not bring Game Pass yet, or for a while, to this deal, to GeForce Now. At the moment, it will be just the store stuff that's on the sort of the Xbox Game Store, Yeah, so in the same way we have stuff Steam Store, Epic Games Store, and sometimes you can have games on both. Available now on Steam and Epic Games Store. What you'll have is available now on Steam, Epic Games Store, if it's on there, and Xbox Game Store, Xbox PC Game Store, or whatever. So I think that's what you'll have, because I think at the moment, to bundle in Games Pass Now, which at the moment is not going to happen. That's what they're saying. That's the official line. I think would undermine the value added that you get when you subscribe to Games Pass. You get, play all these games wherever you want as part of, on Xbox. The Xbox ecology. You can play it anywhere you want, and that makes sense. And xCloud is part of that. But as I've said on this show, and actually, was it not? Luger, I can't remember. I'm just going to check, because in this very show last week, we talked, oddly enough, didn't we? If you remember, those that were here, we talked specifically about what a great idea it would be if Xbox allowed GeForce Now access to their games as a way to appeasing the various government authorities. Now, you may think you're making this up, Clive. You never... yeah, I think you'll find I did. But I'll find the actual clip from the show. Now, I mean, I'd been thinking about this, but it was somebody clever person in chat who first suggested it, and I will find it. Let us go. How do we use Twitter? Bear with me here while I find it. So, I should be able to do two things at once, shouldn't I? Anyway, the point is, last week on the show, this very idea was talked about at length, and like, isn't it amazing? Here we are, great minds think alike. Here we are, unbeknownst to us, they were actually doing the very deal that we were talking about. And let me know in the chat as well, as I try and find this thing. Let me know in the chat, which of the Xbox PC games do you think we'll see first? In fact, if we go to... this is not scientific test, ladies and gentlemen, but if you put in Xbox games into Steam, so from what we know, ladies and gentlemen, what we know, the games are going to trickle out. I thought, actually, between you and me, I thought at the last minute, even though what happens is I get a press release from Nvidia, usually, on a Wednesday, whatever, to give me time to prep the show and, articles and do the videos and everything ready for when the embargo lifts on the Thursday. And I thought, actually, what will happen is I knew there were no Xbox games in that initial press release, but I thought maybe today they'll drop one, like your first one, but maybe they get them in, but no, it's not to be. So maybe over the next couple of weeks, we might see our first Xbox games. But if you put in, from what we know, from what Phil Eisler said from the deal, is that those games from Xbox, PC Game Studio, Xbox Game Studios that already on Steam are more than likely to be the first ones that are made available. So, a quick look here. You've got Age of Empires 4, Sea of Thieves, Forza Horizon, Grounded, Ori. Now, some of these might be available already. Fable, Flight Simulator. Imagine Flight Simulator. So here are some games already on Steam from the Xbox Game Studio. I mean, I'd love Sea of Thieves. I mean, I like Sea of Thieves on the Xbox, but be able to play Sea of Thieves via GeForce Now would be great. Do I own it? Can't remember now. That's the thing. I'm so used to playing games because of Game Pass. I don't actually own the games, so that's I have to buy them again. Not buy them again, but buy them if I want to play them on GeForce Now. But this will just give you an idea, I think, some of these games. So let me know, what do you one in the chat? What do you think will be the first few games we see? And two, which games from the Xbox Game Studios sort of stable are you most excited to sort of play? I'd love to know. Put it down in the chat while I still try and work out how Twitter works, and I find out where my posts. Has it changed? Yeah, here we are. So let's just go to this, ladies and gentlemen, to show, and I'll put the sound up that I'm not making this. Thanks, Clive. This week on GeForce Now, even stronger in cloud gaming. This is a theme that keeps reoccurring. And so back to the point here of Duca saying, so Duca Gabriel said Microsoft should offer Activision games to GFN. Okay, we'll make sure the PC for this deal to go through. This was on last week's show, ladies and gentlemen. On Steam and GeForce Now, or even Xbox Game Pass PC, make it available on GeForce Now. The merger could make money. So there we go. On this very show, we talked about such a deal occurring, and there you go. You can go back and check that. I tweeted it out as soon as they announced it. So you can go and check that out. And we talked in depth about what a deal might look like. So now we know what the deal. We had no idea they were doing the deal. It made sense, especially as I've always said on this show, when it comes to GeForce Now. In a way, I don't get why publishers don't want their games on GeForce Now. Now, at the beginning, I could understand a certain nervousness, but now, especially with the 4080 tier and all of that, an opportunity for people to play your game in the best conditions possible, 4080 tier, without consumers having to spend $3,000 on a PC, they can play, $2,000. They can play your game that you've put your heart and soul into, and you want to showcase it to the best of its game. Well, somebody could buy it on their 4-year-old gaming PC and play it on low settings. Or if you tick a box, someone could stream it via the cloud and play it in 4080 RTX, everything turned up, frame rate turned up, the works, and really experience the game you built. Yeah, and you're not losing out because somebody still has to buy that game to play it. So you're not losing out. You're not paying a commission, or nobody's taking a cut. That's the beauty of GeForce Now for publishers. They don't really lose out. Yeah. So I've discussed it previously on a different show. Whilst this is amazing for GeForce Now, and it is amazing for GeForce Now, it's not a major give. I would argue it's not a major give for Xbox. Actually, this bit of it in the form that it is, if you own the games, you can play it via GeForce Now. For them, actually, they're not losing out. Then, if anything, they're going to gain. But it looks like they're conceding something massive. Yeah? I think the bigger concession is the Activision Blizzard stuff, games, or Call of Duty, that will come to GeForce Now. But the current catalogue of games, I'm not sure it's that much of a loss. Or no, not a loss. Not that much of a give for Xbox, for Microsoft, really. But the point is, to the UK authority, the European, competitions and market authorities, the FTC, in the US market, competition and market authorities, it looks like a big give, a big concession on Microsoft's part. And let's be honest, this deal wouldn't have happened now, right? If the various governmental authorities around the world hadn't put pressure on Microsoft to make compromises. There is no question that Nvidia are the happenstance, fortunate, lucky beneficiaries of what's going on. And we, as consumers, especially GeForce Now consumers, are super lucky. Because, yeah, this deal wouldn't have happened now. I mean, it may have happened in the long term, but then maybe not. There'd be no incentive. Or, or less incentive, put it that way, less incentive. It would be up Nvidia knocking on the door of Xbox, trying to convince them why they should bring their games. But no, I'm sure Nvidia would just sit in there and go, wouldn't it be good? One day Xbox will come, we'll have Xbox PC games. One day, ding dong, someone's at the door. What? Oh, I was just daydreaming about something in the future. Who is it? It's Microsoft. What do they want? They want to put all their games on our service. What? It's like literally like that. So that must have been like to Nvidia. Plus, there are loads of other strategic things going on here. Like, can you make sure you have RTX in your games? Can you use Nvidia hardware, please? Yeah, and all those sort of things behind the scenes as well. But there is no shadow of a doubt that this is a massive bonus for GeForce Now and Nvidia, and that's the thing. And the other thing is, anecdotally, so I have a video that reviews the SuperPods, the RTX 4080 tier, the ultimate tier on GeForce Now. If you've not seen it, the video is doing very, very well. It still does very, very well, but the viewings have tapered off slightly as we move away from when the 4080 tier was first announced. Yeah. But since the announcement of the Nvidia Microsoft deal and the proposal to bring Xbox Game Studios catalog, PC game catalog to GeForce Now, my viewings on that, GeForce Now 4080 tier review have picked up again over the last 3 days. So that's anecdotal, but that I can only say, it's not a coincidence, it's cause and effect, is because of the announcement that was made earlier this week. It has definitely, based on my anecdotal evidence, caused an extra interest in GeForce Now, and people curious about, actually, maybe I should check this GeForce Now out, because, as I said, I've seen an upturn in my GeForce Now Ultimate Tier review, and it matches it absolutely matches the announcement. The last 2 days, it's just increased slightly. The curve has just slightly picked up. So it potentially is having as I said, is a massive bonus for GFN. Will drive subscribers, yeah, which makes GFN as a platform, as a service, to have your game on, even more enticing for other publishers. So this deal could have a knock-on effect for other publishers. If GeForce Now are increasing their subscribers, especially people who are buying the ultimate tier, because of the impact of this deal, suddenly publishers say, you know what, actually, as Clive always says on his because everybody watches it, yeah. Strauss, Strauss Zelnick from, Take Two, whatever, is always watching this show, I'm sure. He's probably thinking, actually, no, he's an exception to the rule because of they continue to sell GTA in billions. They're outliers. But other publishers who haven't ticked the box to be on GeForce Now may be thinking, actually, we potentially are leaving money on the table now because there are so many subscribers to GeForce Now. And we're not losing out. As I said, we're not losing out. People still have to buy our games. So could this deal have a kind of exponential effect on GeForce Now, like a knock-on effect? Not only are we seeing, anecdotally, added interest in GeForce Now because of the announcement of this deal, and therefore that suggests it's going to drive subscribers. But the very fact that it drives subscribers, is that going to then encourage other publishers, or at least if I'm Nvidia, going to publishers, the stats that I present to them, my deck, when I do my deck presentation to why you should be on GeForce Now, your game should be on GeForce Now, the figures in my bar chart suddenly look even more impressive. So could we see more publishers coming on board as a result of this deal? It's interesting. Let me know your thoughts down below. Remember, everybody hit the likes. We've got lots of people in the house. It's lovely to see them. The show started off a bit of a trip, a bit of a stumble, but it's lovely to see everybody here. Don't forget to hit the likes. I like it. YouTube likes it, and it helps people like you find brilliant shows when it works and we're not getting kicked off by the internet like this. Xbox were talking about making Xbox games available for cloud users to buy. They were, indeed. I wonder if this is what they had in mind. I don't think, Neil, this is what they had in mind. I don't think this deal is something that they had in mind 12 months ago. This deal has come about because of the pressure brought on to them to appease the UK Competition and Markets Authority and the EU and the FTC's Competition and Markets Authorities. This is why this deal is happening. I'm not saying this deal would never have ever happened, but the reason it's happening now, and the reason it's happened all of a sudden, they literally did the deal last week, or closed the deal last week, coincidentally, a few days before Microsoft were making their case to the EU Trust Authority, So there's no long-term strategic thinking 12 months ago about this. This is recent strategic thinking. How do we assure, because as Clive at the studio said, one of the concerns that the UK Competition and Markets Authority stated was the impact on the cloud gaming business. Okay, how do we appease them? Okay, we'll make our games available to the next big, cloud gaming service, which is it State? No, not them, because they're dead. Oh, it's GeForce Now. Plus, okay, well, let's think about this though. Are we losing out anything? No, because they've still got to buy Halo. They've still got to buy Microsoft Simulator. They've still got to buy these games. So you're not losing out. In fact, you might even make more sales. And at the same time, you're appeasing the market authorities' concern about you damaging the nascent cloud gaming industry by having, by creating a Netflix of games and having the big games all to yourself, and therefore kind of squashing any competition in the cloud game in a burgeoning market. It's win-win. So there we go. Phil is the name of the game industry success if this deal goes through. They're actually starting with the stream versions. There we go, you see. So, Neil, I'm confused. What is the difference between the Steam versions, say, and me buying it off the Xbox game store? What's the fundamental difference? I'm curious. I'm just going to go here. PC gaming is better with Xbox. That's PC Game Pass. Yeah, so look. Expect to see these titles. Halo Infinite, MasterChef collection. MasterChef. MasterChef. My job, I had an email about MasterChef today as part of my job. So that's why I just said MasterChef. It's in my head from my day job. Master Chief Collection, Age of Empire. Well, actually, a chef life is MasterChef, isn't it? Age of Empires 4 and Forza Horizon, Microsoft Flight Simulator, as I said. So what is the fundamental difference of me buying it from the Xbox Game Store and buying it on Steam? I'm curious, Neil. Internet of Games says, my point is this: to offer Games Pass, you must have a significant number of Game Pass games available on GFN. That's going to take a year to do. That is a very good, valid point. Yeah. That is actually with, you weren't born yesterday, were you, Internet of Games? That makes a lot of sense, of course. We already know it's going to take 6 to 12 months, 6 to 12 months to get the whole of the Xbox PC catalog on GeForce Now. So, yeah, whether it makes business sense to bring Games Pass, PC, whatever, on there or not, the point is, it makes no sense until all the games that are available on Xbox Game Pass PC are available on GeForce Now. So that's not going to happen to at least 6 to 12 months. It's a very good point. And that's another reason why it's not happening. So there we go. And if Phil Spencer and Phil, if both the Phils are watching, thank you very much indeed. Yeah, exactly. There's no hiding it. There's no disguising it. We know why this deal is happening. And as I said, Nvidia GeForce Now is a happenstance lucky bonus winner. It's like playing Monopoly. Talking of monopolies and competition, and they landed on a chance and get a windfall. That's what's happened. Forza first. Good one. Oh, Halo FTP first. I know it's there, Clive, but the March roadmap is going to be very interesting. It is indeed. Minecraft. I'm curious at how Minecraft will work, actually, because my daughter is a massive... Both my kids are massive Minecraft fans. And they play together, and she set up a world on this gaming PC here, and my son joins her on his gaming PC. But if she finishes, she has to leave the game on here, which is annoying, so he can carry on building in her world. And I said, why? Can't you just transfer it or keep it in the cloud? Or, doesn't it save it? Doesn't Mojang save it and all that? She says, no, because it's like a bit old school. The information is kept on your PC here, on the PC that you start playing the game on, which is a bit annoying. So, I'm curious how that'll work in GeForce Now, how it remembers it. Don't know. I'm actually playing Minecraft at the moment. I don't really need it in the cloud, as it's so well optimized. It runs well on my potato PCs and budget phone. True, but my daughter is going to university in a few months, and she's got a MacBook, she's got her iPhone on that, but she can't really play her Overwatch or Minecraft to the level that she wants, or the version that she wants. So she's saying, will you get me a gaming PC when I'm at university? It's like, what? I got you a Mac because you're, artistic and creative. What a bloody gaming PC. Yeah, because I want to play Minecraft and Overwatch. So yeah, if she's got decent internet and Minecraft comes to the right version, the Java version, whatever, the PC version, which is the key thing here, the PC version comes to GeForce Now, then yeah, maybe that's it. You can farm on the lavatory. Yeah, exactly. Oh dear. I'd like to have my saves joined up. Yeah, that is a pain, you see. I'm looking forward to Minecraft. I can finally stream it to the TV via my Nvidia Shield. that is another thing. So Suarez, I'm looking forward to 4K 120. Yes, because obviously yeah, exactly. Halo. Well, I play Halo natively on the Xbox Series X, so I'm at that. But if you play it via the cloud on xCloud, you're not going to get that. But play it on GeForce Now. If you buy Halo, yes, you can. Hey, Vet's in the house. Good to see you, Vet. Yeah, Nintendo. No, I don't see that happening. Bit old-fashioned company. Vet, it's a Vet raid. Gears and Doom Eternal maxed out. Indeed. I'd like to play more smoothly on Steam Deck when I get around to buying one. Oh, Steam refunding is very easy. Yeah. I also learned that Battle.net refunding is quite easy-ish as well. My son having too many accounts and bought Call of Duty on the wrong account. But there we go. So anyway, yeah, we can expect to see the games trickling out. Maybe these are some of the ones that we're seeing here that are already on Steam and stuff. Sea of Thieves, another one as well. We'll see these first. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. But it's exciting times, and expect over the next few weeks to see those first few games. I think it's hard to say, isn't it? I wonder if it might be something like Age of Empires. But you know what? A statement would be Halo Infinite. Don't you think? Halo Infinite is so tied as an Xbox IP, even though you can obviously buy the PC version, but an Xbox IP, that it would send out a very strong message if Halo Infinite was available on GeForce Now, early doors, or the fours. I've not settled on one, have I? It is hard. But I think it will be one of those Steam titles, as I said. And we've got Halo Infinite there. Free to play. Are they talking about the multiplayer bit? Oh no, you can buy the campaign. Yeah. So it's ready to go. It just needs tweaking and uploading onto their servers. It's on Steam. The connection is there and all of that. And I think we'll start seeing the Steam versions of the games first while they sort out the access to the Xbox PC Games Store. Because as we said, it's no good having access to that store if there's only 3 games available at that time. So it makes a lot more sense to start just ticking off all the Xbox games that are on Steam first. In my mind, anyway, that's how I would kind of envisage it. But it is a tough one, isn't it? It's a hard one, really. Which ones are going to come first? But definitely, I will be playing Halo multiplayer quick play, even though I can stream it from xCloud here and then stream it. I would prefer to stream it on GeForce Now on the ultimate tier and stream that, because I know I'll be getting 120 frames per second in my stream and stuff like that. So yeah, exactly. I think it would be a big statement. So let's call it. Yeah. Let's call it. It could be something really boring, like, no disrespect to Age of Empires. It could be something like Age of Empires, there you go, whatever, PC-oriented game. Or they could make a big statement and go, our first game is Halo Infinite. I think that would be, indeed, a big statement, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to go to chat, see if that's loaded in a little bit. There we go. So before I depart these shores, as it were, of live streaming, I just want to highlight here a possible first-person shooter. You know, I'm a fan. You know, I'm a fan. Even though I'm not very good at it, I love a bit of FPS action and multiplayer action. Well, check this out. This is a game called The Finals, and it's by former developers who made Battlefield, okay, back in the day. At the moment, it's a closed beta, and it's on Steam. You can buy it on Steam. Well, you can't buy it on Steam because it's a closed beta, starting March the 7th, okay? But the reason I'm bringing it up here, so it's got a kind of, let me just go back to the beginning here. Let me just, in case that's deafening you all. It's got a real kind of Apex feel to it. You can see some of the sort of Battlefield DNA in there. Oh, God. You play different class of characters in it. You'll see here. This gives me a real Apex Legends vibes. So it's like a team shooter. It's fast. It's furious. As I say, former developers who worked on the Battlefield series involved like this. Anyway, the reason I bring it up, ladies and gentlemen, is not just because I love showcasing FPS games that I'm not very good at. Is, look, Nvidia GeForce are heavily promoting the game. Yeah, because it's got Nvidia DLSS, it's got Nvidia Reflex in it, it's got plus ray tracing in it. And so it's part of their marketing. Now, if I'm investing marketing money on a game, yeah, that is highlighting and DLSS, reflex, ray tracing, I'd be making sure, especially if all my departmental units are joined up thinking, as they say, especially if Nvidia GeForce have got joined up thinking, you can bet they're saying to the developers of the Finals, you want this game on GeForce Now. You need to tick GeForce Now as well. There is, they're promoting it. Nvidia is promoting it. Not Nvidia GeForce Now, but Nvidia GeForce is promoting it because it has all these features. You'd think as part of the marketing, or not part of the marketing, part of the strategic partnership, they'd also have done a deal to get it on GeForce Now. So I hope so, because it looks a good sort of competition for Apex Legends. And we got X Defiant, which is very similar, coming up from Ubisoft and stuff like that. So, yeah, interesting. This is pre-beta footage as well, so it does look very good. Yeah, I clocked it a few moments before as well, Internet of Games. That's why it's at the end of the thing. But just a kind of one to watch. Yeah, one to watch. Could I be clipping this part of the show in a few weeks and going, I told you so. I told you so. That's why you should watch this show. We make predictions based on guessing and a little bit of inside industry knowledge and stuff like that, and just spotting stuff like this. So there you go. Wow. What a show. I hope you found that informative, educational, and entertaining, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we like to do on my shows, and that's what we like to do on the GeForce Now. I do have trouble multitasking. That's what we like to do on the GeForce Now Thursday Chat podcast. So I appreciate you all being here. I appreciate those at the beginning that put up with my internet crashing mid-show. I do apologize for that. Look, we'll get this sorted, get my IT sorted. I've already had 2 BT engineers come around in the last couple of weeks. I told them how many smart devices I've got in the house, and they were both flabbergasted the amount of stuff that uses Wi-Fi in this house. But anyway, that's a different issue. Thank you for being here. Thank you for putting up with my moaning and my internet problems and all of that. I really, really appreciate it. Have a wonderful, wonderful gaming week. Why not join me for the Xbox Monday Night Chat as ever if you're so inclined. But otherwise, enjoy your gaming. Have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you, if you're just interested in GeForce Now Thursday Chat stuff, right here, this time next week. Well, not this time. 10 p.m. UK time this week, next week. You know what I mean anyway. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Goodbye.